Use this Kinetic Blade exploit to get in your opponent's box 100% of the time. As you run towards your opponent's box, jump and swing your blade from a tile and a half away. When timed correctly, you'll be sent right inside even if they're turbo building. Say goodbye, zero pingers. Instead of aimlessly whipping your crosshair around your screen to hit your shots, try focusing on the small dot in the center instead. This dot is placed in the exact center of your screen, making it the perfect point of reference for lining up your shots. Oftentimes, players will mistakenly track their targets with the outside of their crosshairs, causing them to not hit for as much damage as they truly could have. If you didn't already know, ADSing with the Havoc shotgun makes for a world of difference. When ADS'd, your crosshair tightens up and decreases the bloom of your pellet spray. Just take a look at this example. With the players standing the exact same distance, ADSing the shots hits for way more damage than the hip fire. Now, we're not saying to ADS every shot you take, but if you're in a position where it makes sense, definitely go for it. A great way to get a feel for this is by hopping into the headshot-only free-for-all map by Panville. Now, this map's been around for a while, but it remains as one of the best ways to increase your headshot accuracy. Feel free to experiment with ADSing your shotgun in this map so you don't look like an AI when trying it out in an actual game. Aside from hitting your own shots, you also need to think about dodging your opponents. 99% of players seem to think that jumping is the best way to go about this, but they couldn't be any more wrong. What you want to do is start crouching instead. Now, crouching is far less predictable and moves your hitbox away a lot quicker. Just take a look at this side by side, for example. What looks easier to track to you? Hopefully, you said the left because jumping can sometimes make it even easier to line up your shots. Stop making this crucial mistake. If you want to make a far rotation without the risk of getting W-keyed on your way, pair up the Kinetic Blade with the Aerialist Augment. Dash directly into the sky 3 consecutive times and deploy your glider at peak height. Now, this will let you glide to your destination with ease and can be performed back to back thanks to the super fast recharge time of the blade's dashes. Speaking of gliding, I bet only a few of you guys know of this super sneaky exploit. When gliding near an opponent, stop moving your character entirely and hover down to the ground slowly. Doing this will make you invisible to visual audio effects, and since a lot of gliders in the game don't make any noise, your opponent will have no idea where you just came from. Ready to level up your game? Visit ProGuides.com and unlock the full power of our comprehensive courses and exclusive bootcamp content for just $7.99. Craving a custom coaching experience? Score a 10% discount on tailor-made sessions with any of our skilled pros. Look, I know everybody wants to land at Mega City every game in the hopes of getting the mythic Havoc shotgun, but this isn't the way to go about getting it. Mega City really doesn't have that much loot, and the fights off spawn can be pretty RNG heavy. Instead, land at a nearby POI or split drop and make your way in once the AI crew spawns in at the start of the second zone. This allows you to clean up the remaining players and claim the vault for yourself instead of fighting everyone and their mom for absolutely no reason. Similar to the Mega City Vault, players are going to do everything they can to make it up to the loot island first to capture the flag for themselves. Instead of trying to be the first one up there, sneak your way up by dashing with the Kinetic Blade. This calls much less attention to yourself than rifting does, and it'll catch whoever's up there by surprise. If you're a controller player and you still aren't using paddles, you're holding yourself back more than you think. Using paddles allows your right thumb to stay on your joystick at all times, leading to significantly better movement. Yes, technically playing with a claw grip can achieve the same thing, but your fingers might end up looking like face sways. Instead of free building in an empty creative island, try doing it in the AI bot free build section of Raiders 464's mechanics training map. You can free build in here like you normally would, only now you have the option to piece control and go for clips on the henchmen. Once you've filled the arena with builds, just emote to reset and get back to cranking. If you didn't already know, you can actually see exactly what your wall edit will look like before confirming it. No, we're not talking about the gray selected tiles. Look at the transparent line that forms when making this peanut butter edit. This allows you to position yourself accordingly before making a dumb edit that gets you killed because you thought you were fully protected. When it comes to making edit plays on your opponents, stop confirming each edit as soon as you possibly can. Instead, wait about a second longer than usual and get yourself into a position where you have the clear angle advantage. Players these days are getting better and better at predicting edits, so don't be that guy that's constantly getting out-traded by his own plays. Have some patience. A great way to practice this is by heading back to Raiders Mechanics map and doing the Piece Control X Peak training section. Although it may look like an ordinary piece control drill, there is a twist. Once the bot's field of view is in sight, you'll begin to take damage. The normal mode will deal damage after 200 milliseconds, and the hard mode will deal damage after 150 milliseconds. This forces you to make calculated, optimal edits and peaks to stay safe and hopefully transfer into your regular playstyle. When it comes to the defensive side of edit plays, standing there and trading shots with your opponent isn't always the best. Instead, right as they make their edit, spray their wall, replace it, and then make your own edit play on them. When a wall gets edited, it is super low on HP, meaning you can destroy and replace it as your own with only a few bullets. Whenever you have the opportunity, you need to activate the Munition Slide Augment. This augment gives you free AR ammo every time you slide, making it a no-brainer for any type of competitive event. Now, it may seem like a slow process, but believe me, your AR ammo will stack up right before you know it. Sometimes your opponents will do anything to get in your face and 50-50 you for the kill. Instead of constantly reboxing and avoiding the engagement, go ahead and match their energy. As they spray their way into your box, do your best to pre-fire them every time they break a build. This is usually the easiest to pull off when they're running into your wall, but it can be done through other builds like the top of the roof as well. With the Kinetic Blade, most players seem to forget that they can use it as a melee weapon as well. Obviously, it's not strong enough to use as a primary weapon, but if you have the opponent on low health, spamming the sword in their face can wrap up the fight pretty quickly. Or you can combo some dashes to reach your opponent and slice them up after hitting the ground. Alright Fortnite fam, it is time for the question of the day. Who would you say is the best fighter in Season 2? For us at ProGuides, we've got to hand it to Polarized. Although we typically advise against jumping into an opponent's box, sometimes it just makes sense. However, make sure you have a plan and you aren't just brainlessly spraying. As you get in, place a build to protect yourself from taking damage and make a play accordingly. One way to avoid taking damage as you pressure an opponent's box is by swinging your pickaxe on the wall you're replacing before you fully commit to it. This speeds up the wall replacement process a ton and will keep your opponent on their toes. The same thing can be done with a spray weapon, just make sure not to waste too much ammo or else you'll have to reload once it's time to actually take some shots. Do you want to learn more pro W key techniques like this? Then don't forget to head to ProGuides.com where you can access all of our exclusive bootcamp content for just $7.99 and one-on-one coaching with any of our top-tier pros for 10% off. Never forget about aim training. Yes, your aim will naturally improve the more you play the game, but nothing comes close to a third-party aim trainer like AimLab. AimLab offers tons of customizable aim training drills that over 25 million people stand by. Just look at how accurate TENS has become from grinding these drills. Prioritize the Slurp Juice over every other healing item. It only takes 2 seconds to pop and generate 3 shields and 3 white HP every half second. On top of the crazy fast healing time, the Slurp Juice now provides 240 total HP. How broken is that? When you're playing duos, take advantage of pre-edits whenever you can, especially once that endgame rolls around. Pre-edits are pretty much impossible to counter and can wipe an entire team almost instantly. Make sure to practice this with your teammate beforehand so you guys know exactly what to do once you get the opportunity to do it. If you time your tactical sprint perfectly as you ramp forwards, you'll be able to cover ground much quicker. Now, it may feel odd at first, but the move is pretty simple. Place a ramp and hold your turbo build. As you reach the end, hit your ramp bind and immediately enter the tactical sprint again. From here, just repeat the process until your sprinting stamina runs out. If you found these tips helpful, don't be afraid to leave a like and drop a comment on what you'd like to see next. Also, make sure you're subscribed with post notifications turned on so you never miss another one of our videos.